What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I hope you like this video. This is RuPaul's Drag Race Season 13, Episode 4. So finally, we have the Group A ladies meeting the Pork Chop ladies, and they're all in one room. They all come through, and Elliot hides, right? So they knew that the Pork Chop ladies were coming through. So Elliot hides so that they can kind of see what they're gonna say about Elliot behind his back, right? And so they asked, well, why? Of course, there's a lot of shade being thrown and all that good stuff. And they were like, well, why did y'all vote Elliot off? Because of course they assumed that Elliot actually went home. And they were like, well, I mean, it was really no shade. I mean, it was just first impressions. And they were like, well, what impression was that? And they were basically like, no impression at all. Like none. So then Elliot comes out and was like, oh my gosh, what do you mean? No impression. Like, throwing shade or whatever. And he came for Tamisha Iman. And Tamisha Iman was like, all these poodles and you came for the pit bull? No, ma'am. It's not what you want. But of course they ended the whole thing with but we're all team, we're all season 13 ladies now, and we all on one team now, yeah. So the Maxi challenge this week is RuPaul's shit, I can't even get it out. RuPaul's her little campy movies, right? The Hallmark movies, which I love the Hallmark Christmas movies. Now, the rest of the year, it's pretty much the same formula, but for whatever reason, it just don't do it for me. But Christmas, I'm here for the Christmas movies. I don't know, maybe because Christmas is my favorite time of the year. Anyway, so we had, hold on, let me get to the beginning of my notes, child. It's a lot going on in this episode, a lot going on. So we have 3 different groups. The first group, Misery Loves Company, and that is Denali, Elliot, Kimora, and Olivia. God loves flags. About Flag Day. I never took a straight path nowhere. Sorry, y'all. Hold on, let me turn this off. I never took a, because that's gonna keep going on. Okay. That is Lala Ree, Rose, Simone, and Utica. Then we have April Fool's rush in. And that's got Mick, Joey J, Tina Burner, Candy, Muse, and Tanisha Iman, right? So, of course, we and Ross Matthews is directing. And so, in the workroom when they're all figuring out who's going to do what, Denali runs in and is like, I want this part. And of course, the part that Denali wants is the star of the show that has the most lines. Now, what I don't know what he saw in those first couple of lines that made him be like, oh, I want this. But whatever it was, he quickly figured out, oh my goodness, I done picked up the main part. And, almost immediately started second guessing that, as he should have. Rue comes through the workroom. Candy decided what part Candy wanted, and pretty much bullied her way through and said, this is mine. I don't care what the rest of y'all think, and started highlighting before they could even have a good conversation, baby. But again, she got away with it, so it is what it is. Now, in the workroom, there were a couple of, Rue comes through to meet with each team, and it was really, a few things were really interesting. Of course, Tina Burner and Rose are the actresses of the group, and Rose, of course, thinks that she is the end-all, be-all of everything, and she's going to be this great actress. Now, she did do a great job, got great, high regards from the judges, so what can you say about that? Tanisha Iman didn't seem like she was impressing Rue too much with her Cher imitation, but she was able to turn it around, and, Rue was able to give her some good advice. And then there was this scene with Utica, because Utica's character smokes weed, and Rue was like, well, have you ever smoked weed? And Utica was like, but whatever she did and the way she did it, when I say Rue was falling out on the floor, like I can only imagine if what we saw was the edited version of how hard Rue was laughing. I mean, it was a lot. It was a lot, right? So that was the workroom. So we get into, they're actually with Ross, and they're going through it. And you know how they always they show us who struggled and all that good stuff. And so the people that stood out Lala Reed definitely was out of her comfort zone and struggled a lot. Denali struggled with those lines again. You bit off a little bit more you could chew. Um, Now Tanisha Iman struggled a little bit, but you know what Tanisha Iman was able to do was to take direction. She took great direction from Ross, right? Simone did great. Of course, Tina Burner, Rose did really well. And that was pretty much, again, they're going to give you the people who struggled the most. And the person that struggled, I think, the most was Kamara. And she was playing a tree. I'm like, I could see both sides of that coin. You know what I'm saying? But she was playing a tree, girl. A tree. But I definitely can understand how that could be challenging as well. The runway is a train. Train extravaganza, right? So a couple of things went down in the workroom. Let me say this. Simone, you winning me over. Simone told the story about her first time in drag. And she said that her first time in drag was her high school prom. And she said she would come home every day from school and practice her makeup before her parents would get home. And she said one of her friends was like, girl, are you going to come to prom in drag? And she was like, you know what? I am. And she came to prom in full drag. But this is what I want to say. And this is not to take anything away from Simone's story. But you know who the VIP of Simone's story was? The VIP of Simone's story was her principal. Because she said she showed up for the prom. And the assistant principal was like, wait a minute, we don't know you. Do you go to our school? Do I know you? And she said her principal was like, girl, that's Reggie. Reggie, go on in and have a good time. And as an educator, I strive to be that person. You know what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't an issue. It wasn't a problem. It was like, come on in here, child. You are who you are. Have a good time. And it is what it is. Living your truth. And I just cannot have gone so many other ways with the wrong people in charge. You know what I'm saying? So, kudos to you, Simone, and kudos to your administrator, your principal, who was like, girl, just go on and have a good time. Tanisha opened up a little bit about, because they were asking, has anyone here ever dated women? And Tanisha was like, girl, I got 3 biological children. She has a set of twins and then another daughter. And, he said up until he was like 19 years old, like, he dated girls. He didn't know he was gay. Until he went to his first gay club with a friend of his, and he was like, it just changed his life. And he said, I started doing drag, so definitely a different story there. Also, we see the formation of a little clique we need to keep our eye on, which is Candy, Muse, Tina Burner, and Got Mick. Y'all know how we do with these cliques. You know how those cliques go sometimes. They can be real cool or they can get real nasty, okay? Now, let's talk about this runway. First of all, let me say this about this runway. I knew somebody was going to play off of the word train and have some sort of train situation. Now, if you had asked me before the runway, my bet would have been Utica. But Utica did something even better, and I'm going to get there in a second. Guest judge was Lonnie Love. So the train runway. The other thing I want to say is everybody must have thought, oh, Mohawk equals train. Because I feel like out of the ladies we have, I feel like more than half of them did their hair in some form of a mohawk. But the first look, Denali. Now, Denali, you did that. Denali did a great look. It was a whole bird thing. She had this mohawk with the green, and it was based on an actual bird that is a part of her heritage. She being Native American. And she explained it and how it all came together, and her train was like a tail of ostrich feathers, and it was very colorful and beautiful. It was really, really good. Olivia came out, and you know what I wrote next to, like, this what I wrote? I wrote, bitch, yes. That is literally in my notes. Bitch, yes. Her outfit was very reminiscent of a Sheila E. outfit that she would have worn in her early years with, that whole Love Bazaar type thing. It's got the suit with the high boots, the pirate boots, and her train. Bitch, it was, for me, the look was everything. And of course, like I said, she had a mohawk. But that look was everything to me. Bitch. Elliot had on a white dress with white ruffles. After Olivia, it was just, okay. I mean, it was nice, but once Olivia went down that runway, baby, that was a hard act to follow. Kamara, beautiful. I wrote Asian Queen. She had this whole dragon tail thing. It was gorgeous. But of course, we know that Kamara Hall is going to get whatever. She going to give it to us. We know that fashion-wise, runway-wise, going to get it. Simone gave us something a little different. She did a whole like sweatsuit thing, and she had the do-rag, and her do-rag was the train. I was here for it. Lonnie Love was like, don't be surprised if you see Rihanna do something like this, like at her next Savage Fenty runway show. And I said, you know what? I can absolutely see that. I can absolutely see Rihanna doing something along those lines. Like, absolutely. But it was cute, and it was different, and I liked it. I did. I liked it. La Ree, she had this whole snake thing with the mask and the snake, and then she had a reveal where it fell out. It was nice. It was beautiful. It was nice. It was cute. Utica came out, and I immediately got the reference. If you are a Carol Burnett fan of the Carol Burnett show, you absolutely got the reference. She had this her runway was reminiscent of the Gone with the Wind curtain look from the Carol Burnett show. It was not reminiscent, that's what it was, you know. It was her play off of it, and it was cute, and it was campy, and I love Utica. Right? I love it. It was cute. Rose gave me, it was a blue pantsuit with ruffles, a lot of tulle. Again, it was okay. Got Mick, I was not here for Got Mick's outfit at all. It was just a bodysuit with some ribbons. It didn't do a whole lot for me. Tina Burner was the one that did the train tracks. She had on to me it was like a circus blue suit with the top hat, and then her cape was like train tracks. It was okay. Joey J's was cute. It was like this whole outfit with the lips and the tongue was her train. It was cute. It was a lot, but it was cute. Candy Muse, it was a red dress. I wrote nothing special, and the judges agreed with me. It was nothing special. And the funny thing was, Got Mick Tina helped her redo her runway because she said that what she had wasn't working for her, and so that was like the remix. So it makes me wonder, what was your original look? Because that was just nothing spectacular. It was a red dress it was nothing spectacular, girl. And then of course my bitch Tanisha Iman, very Donna Ross, hot pink pantsuit with the train again. You know, she made it, and I was here for all of it. Now let's talk about. So we saw the we saw the skits or whatever, and again, the people that we saw struggling in the rehearsal is who was really, it was hard. It didn't come through on stage too well. Now, Candy Muse, I feel like she was saved because they were not impressed with her runway look. This is the second week in a row that people were not impressed with your runway look, Candy. So you're going to have to step your pussy up, okay? But what saved her was her performance, because everybody loved her performance, and it made her, everybody laughed. And so, but that's only going to get you but so far, because at a certain point, if you don't start turning those runways, baby. La Ree, they felt like she sort of got lost in it, but her runway look saved her, so they sort of canceled each other out. Okay. Who was it? Kamara, they were like, we just don't see anything. And Ross was telling them that he said the performance that y'all got, I literally had to pull pride, rob and steal to get that, and it still wasn't good. And he was like, I gave it that, I was exhausted after trying to get that out of her. And then Denali, again, you bit off a little more than you could chew. They say only fools rush in. I feel like you did not read that whole script and realize how detailed you needed to be and how many lines you actually had. I feel like you did not do that, okay? And it got you in trouble. And so Kamara and Denali are in the bottom. Simone won. Her performance was absolutely everything. And then her runway look, beautiful, right? So she wins second week in a row, $5,000 tip. So she done won $10,000, and we in week 4. Okay, that's not a bad day, Simone. The lip sync was 100% Pure Love, which was actually one of my favorite songs, and it is definitely a great get to it dance song. Denali, of course, is a dancer, choreographer, skater, and she pretty much danced literally circles around Kimora. Kimora had that runway dress on. She said it was heavy. The tail was heavy. I was like, girl, if you don't pick that damn dragon tail up and give us something. I mean, she literally just walked around the stage and lip synced. Now, again, it wasn't that would have been a horrible lip sync, but it was. Because you're next to Denali, who literally is dressed as a bird with a green mohawk, literally dancing around you. Like, literally dancing around you. It was horrible. I felt really, really, really bad for Kimora in that moment. I just did. But Kimora was the first one to go home officially in week 4. And, let the games begin, ladies. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Drop it in those comments. Peace.